So let's move on to our next presenter. So we've got Clea Jones. Now, building high quality, relevant, and trending content for your business is necessary to maintain visibility on social media. Let's face it, right? But when none of us, not all of us are marketing experts. And if you're not a marketing expert, it can get quite challenging. Now, Clea is very unique in that she has worked with over 200 small businesses, but also with major brands like Woolworths and McGrath and Domain. She's won many awards, including Small Business Champions Award in 2021. And most importantly, has mastered the art of planning a year's worth of content in an hour. Now, we have only 10 minutes with her, but she's going to give us a sneak peek. So I am very interested to see what she has to show us. Over to you,
All
Clea.
right, if I hit share screen, can I get a thumbs up if you can see my screen? Okay, it's just started raining and that affects my internet, so hopefully I don't drop out. But let me just talk you through how to plan a year's worth of content in 60 minutes in 10 minutes, which is probably about a third of the amount of time that I usually spend speaking on this topic. So I'm going to go pretty quickly. Let me just, if you haven't met me before, my background is actually as a journalist and a talk radio producer. That's where I started my career. And then I wandered out of that over to the Yahoo offices down in Sydney and started as an online editor. And then I evolved to be a product manager for the 7 News website, which was really dynamic and fast-paced and lots of fun. And then I started my own business. I'm a copywriter, but I'm also a content creator because I've widened things, doing more than basic copy these days. And instead of a freelancer, I try and think of myself as a business owner because it just motivates me to achieve a little bit more. When we're talking about content these days, a lot of people immediately think the written word, blogs and articles. It's going a lot further than that these days. You've got your social media posts. Graphics and infographics are really important to capture people's attention. Newsletters, people often forget to engage with the audience that they already have. So under the content umbrella is your newsletters and your email marketing. Reels and videos are something that you can have a lot of fun with, and it's getting a lot more cost effective to produce. And then you can go wider and deeper with your podcasts and your books, downloadable lead magnets, white papers, surveys, reports, webinars, presentations like this. And when you're thinking about content, you've got the evergreen content that you can kind of keep and reuse and send out again and again and over for 2 or 3 years and then go back and refresh. And then you've got those little pieces of content that you're constantly sharing and constantly updating so that you can create something new and, of course, let Google know that your website and your audience are active. This is a question that people ask me constantly when we are sitting down to plan content. How much should we share and how often? And to be honest, when it comes to marketing, there's not 100% hard and fast rule. But if you're a growing business and you don't have a massive budget, then I'd say if you're posting on social media every second weekday, that's fantastic. Articles, depending on your SEO strategy, fortnightly or monthly, does tend to be enough. You can do weekly if you want. Your newsletter should be going out fortnightly or monthly. And it's so much easier if you create a calendar, start filling it out, know what you're doing on which days of the month, and then you can sit back and look at it. And even once you've got that spreadsheet in front of you, all broken down, it just starts to feel a lot less overwhelming. So if you're sitting down for 1 hour to plan your content, and that's all you want to give it, the first thing to do is make sure you've got the right people in the room. The people who are involved with your business, the stakeholders, the people on your team who will be helping or part of the process, and talk as well about what you want to achieve. Do you want to get more traffic to your website? Do you 100% want to get more inquiries? Or do you need to educate the audience that you already have, because there's a lot of information that's kind of slipping between the cracks and it's making it hard to understand what's going on? And when you're thinking about your content, think about the metrics that you're going to look at as well, the page views or the click-throughs or the bookings or the feedback that you get. So there are a million different ways to come up with blog ideas, but I'm just going to talk you through one strategy. If you're new at this, it at least gives you an idea of where to start. So the first place to start, sit down and think of the 12 biggest topics, the biggest questions that your customers ask, the things that you find yourself explaining over and over and over again, what's most important for them to know. If you're not sure, ask your team, reach out to a few clients, or just put a couple of keywords in Google and see what it comes up with, see what other people are writing about. You should be able to sit down and come up with more than 12 ideas, especially if you start thinking as well about what can we post at the end of the financial year, or what can we post around Christmas, or what can we post around, a big anniversary of our company. You should be able to come up with plenty of ideas. And then you're going to start working on how can you make them compelling enough for people to read them. So here's a couple of ideas. So, for example, 5 biggest things that your real estate agent wishes you knew before you sell your house. The biggest misconceptions about applying for your first home loan, or maybe some regulation updates in your industry. This is really important for, finance and construction. Our thoughts about the government's approach to blah is a good way to grab people's attention and show them that you're on the ball. And you can talk about, the 7 biggest mistakes people make when, for example, trying to fix their own taps. Don't forget about your key search terms, because part of any content strategy should at least be to have your basic SEO keywords included in your articles. So once you've got this, you can write your blog articles. If you've never done it before, my very quick tip, around 600 to 800 words is enough. Tell them at the start what you're going to be talking about. Tell them in the middle, and at the end, tell them what to do. You need to include a call to action like book a call with us, check out the website to find more. Here's your free download. So something for them to do so that they don't just drift away when they've finished reading. Now, once you've written your article, we've got to just chuck it on social media once and look at your LinkedIn or your Facebook and go, wow, okay, it's got less than 100 impressions or less than 1,000 impressions and not that many click-throughs. Give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me, because I'm getting messages. Are we all right? Yeah, great. Sorry about that. People get really locked into, right, I've created this content, it's standalone and it lives over here and it never moves. But you've got to think about your content. I don't even know the word. It's more organic. It's repurposable. So break it into smaller chunks for social media. You can send it out in your newsletter, turn it into a press release. Even if you don't get a phone call straight away from that press release, if you're touching base with a media outlet that might want to publish your content regularly, when they do have a story that's potentially interesting to them or they need a quote, you're going to be the one that they reach out to. And you can even do something like schedule a masterclass for your clients or for anyone who wants to jump in. So talking about repurposing content, it doesn't just have to be the written word. You can turn your blog into a really easy downloadable infographic. You can create a nice swipe file with the key points. You can have some fun creating reels and videos, either recording them yourself or just putting together a little animation. And you can truncate your blog and you can turn it into 4 or even 6 or more microblogs that are going on social media. So now, okay, maybe we're posting every Monday, we've got a little bit more, but we do need those extra spots that we've got to fill. Now, again, there's a million ways to do this, and people talk about breaking your content into pillars. So for example, if you're a plumber, you might have a gas pillar, a bathroom pillar, a kitchen pillar, etc. I like to break things into thinking about what you want people to know. So let's say every Monday you're sharing an article or something from an article. On Wednesday, this might be the day that you share some of the reasons why people work with you. You might want to share letting people know that you're very well connected, letting people know that you're reliable, letting people know that you're a lot of fun to get to know, letting people know what you do for charity. So if you can sit down and think about all the different things that you want people to know about your business, start filling up your content calendar, and then it's a lot easier to come up with those ideas about what you're going to share. Now, we're running out of time. I've got loads and loads and loads of ideas, but get in touch for a copy of the slides afterwards. An example, I always try and share a testimonial to let people know that I'm recommended once every couple of weeks. Have a look at your Google reviews, grab something someone said, turn it into a nice little graphic on Canva and share it, and that's your hit for that little point. If you've won awards, don't forget to mention it. If you've appeared in the media, you can share that more than once. You don't just have to put it out there one time and back off. Don't forget as well to have a regular spot in your social media where you're talking about exactly what you sell, who you sell it to, and you can do a bit of a sale offer as well. Obviously, don't do that all the time, but have those points throughout your schedule as well. So hopefully this has helped you. You can see I've just got a million ideas. Another one I want to talk about, introduce your team. Put up photos of their nice smiling faces. People like to know who they're working with, and a face always makes a connection, and it kind of elevates your status as a great employer, which is really important as in this world as well. And of course, you can post a poll and you can just ask people questions. And on and on and on.
We'll ask Clea to do an hour's worth of content in 10 minutes, but you've given us a really good sneak peek. And as Clea said, she will be sending these slides to me, and I'll send it across to absolutely everyone. But I just want to make sure that we have time for our last round. I'll let Clea talk through her special offer, and then we'll go into our last round of networking.
Thanks, Kavita. Sorry, when I practice, I got this down to 9 minutes. So you've got my email there. If there's anything you want to chat about, you can find me on BackBone. And there's a free content marketing checklist on my website that you can download. It will give you an idea of the different kinds of evergreen and dynamic content that you can create and share with your audience. And finally, if you really want to sit down, really dive in and nail your content 100% for the next 12 months, there's an option to hire me for a day. So thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Thanks, Clea. Everyone.